We are with Representative Tina Orwall from the 33rd District. I notice you have several bills that deal with the issue of sexual assault. But I would like you to tell us first your bill about sexual assault kits.
Well, this one is building upon the work we've already done. As you know, we discovered we had 6,000 untested sexual assault kits in our state. And since that time, we've been working to, one, have the first state in the country to have a tracking system, which the State Patrol will have online by the end of the year. We started investing in money to have those sexual assault kits tested, as well as police officers trained in trauma-informed approaches. There are a lot of steps to make sure we have a victim-centered response. As you know, most sexual assaults are not reported. And so the work we're doing is really to build on that. So the first bill is to make sure on the older kids that when they start investigating, that law enforcement knows how to approach victims or survivors. There's a certain way, after 5-10 years where we don't want to re-traumatize somebody who was already a victim of a crime. We also have found that there's certain rights that survivors feel like they don't have that we put in the bill, so they feel supported by us as we move forward. We're also requiring the testing of the older kids. We required in 2015 all the kits moving forward, but we didn't on the older kids, and we want to make that correction this year.
You also have a bill titled Rape in the Third Degree, but we already have laws that deal with rape in the third in the books. So what does this bill do?
There are different categories of crime. Rape in the first degree is like a deadly weapon, like if you had a firearm, a knife. The second degree also speaks to maybe somebody is disabled. The third degree, when we started looking at the language, we realized we put a lot of the burden actually on the victim. It says that you showed you did not consent either through your words or through your actions. And one of the things we've learned in the neurobiology of trauma is there's the fight or flight, but there's also a freeze. And when you feel threatened, where you think you are under bodily harm, your body reacts, and sometimes you have no control. And one of the responses is to freeze where it's difficult to talk or to move. And so we wanted to redo our laws where it focused on the perpetrator, not necessarily on the victim. And this is a step in that direction.
And lastly, I want to ask you about a bill that's been all over the news. It's 1155, eliminating statute of limitations.
We have a very complex system on statute of limitations. It's different lengths for different offenses. But one of the themes that we've found out is that, especially when somebody is abused as a child, it may take years of trying to heal, years of finding their voice before they're able to talk about it. And they still have the ability to share a lot of information. We rely more on DNA than we ever have, so we have the way to actually identify who the perpetrator is. And so we want to leave it open in these cases where someone can come forward to say what happened to them. And it's especially important on sexual assault because there is a pattern. Often somebody who has sexually assaulted someone has done 3 to 5 other sexual assaults. And so we know there may be many survivors. And so somebody coming forward may start saying what happened, and others, like you see in the news, also come forward because then they have the courage to speak out about what happened to them as well. So we want to look at those laws and we want to see if we can provide more time for survivors to come forward.